psychologists from Newcastle University, located in England, conducted a study. And they were looking to find out if students in the lunchroom would clean up after themselves the same way they would when people are watching, as if when nobody was watching. And so they did this very cool study. They hung up posters all along the cafeteria, and on some particular days at random, it would be a picture of just eyes of a human being, right? Or it would be an inanimate object like a flower. And the study found that on the days where the pictures of the eyes that were hung at eye level were displayed, people were twice as likely to clean up after themselves as opposed to when they were just posters of inanimate objects such as flowers. Which means that we are willing to change the way we act, not even if we know for certain that somebody is watching, but even under the assumption and the thought that possibly somebody is watching, we are willing to change what we do and what we say. Philosophers for years have been debating a very hotly debated hypothetical situation. And the situation goes like this. There's a tree in the forest and it falls down. But if nobody is around to witness the tree falling, the question is, does it make a sound? And so you start listening, and the first thing that comes to your head is, of course it makes a sound. Because when I've been around the tree and I've heard it fall, so I know it makes a sound from my experience, so therefore it must happen all the time. But look a little deeper, and we look at it from a scientific standpoint, and basically what's debated is what is actually a sound and what actually happens when a tree falls down. And it goes like this. When the tree falls, there are sound waves that are vibrating through the air. And those vibrations are then processed into your brains, and your brains will recognize it or identify it as what we understand as a sound, but it's not necessarily what's happening once the tree falls down. So there's speculation, what's a sound, what's not a sound. For all intents and purposes, we're going to assume that it's a sound wave that makes a vibration, but it's not a sound that I can process. Legendary basketball coach John Wooden, the most national championships of any Division I coach in the history of the sport, was quoted saying, "The best way to assess a man's true character is through his actions when nobody is watching." Now, at first glance, this sounds like a fantastic line. Very motivational, right? Who's going to be the first one in and the last one out? Who's working hard, even if it means that the coach is not watching me? Right? Makes sense. But I have a problem with this line. And I have a problem with the experiment that was done over in England. Because to assume that nobody is watching, to assume that the only thing that's going to get in my way is a poster, to me doesn't make sense. Because what about me? I'm in the room. Nobody's watching? What about me? I don't count. I can't judge myself. I can't objectively look at the actions that I do and say to myself, this was good, this was no good. Because this is what we need to do, boys. We need to assume for a second that the tree in the forest is life. And when the tree falls down, it's those magic moments that allow me to learn. And so here's the real question. Who among us needs other people to listen to the tree falling for us to move forward? Or who among us wants to be somebody that can represent themselves, that can be the one who controls their own destiny, and no matter what happens, they have the ability to learn and to grow? Because for most of your lives, you've chosen the first path, right? Maybe we're messing around with our siblings, and we glance over at mom, she's not watching, full steam ahead, baby, here we go. Or maybe we're working so hard in practice, we're pushing, and we're going hard. But it's only because the coach is watching. Coach is not watching, I'm good. Or maybe we're studying so hard at night for a test. We're pounding the pavement. It's 3 hours gone by. But it's only because there's a tutor in the room, and the tutor is my witness so that the next day when the teacher says, how come you failed the test? Oh, I have a witness, the tutor. You can even ask. I even studied with the tutor. Why do we need other people around us? Why do we need the tutor and the teacher and the parent and the coach? What about us? Why can't we be the ones to listen to the tree falling down in the forest? Because we have magical moments happening all around us. We fall down and we have opportunities to pick ourselves back up and to learn from it. But if we need somebody else to listen for that sound, if we need somebody else to push us and they're not around, we're going to stay flat, we go nowhere. So up until now, most of us in this room have gone through the conventional route, the regular route of allowing other people to control what happens to us. I'm going to challenge you boys. Go through the week, and I want you to notice and to recognize how you act when nobody else has their eyes on you. Is it the same? Are you the same person? Are you just as kind when somebody is in need, when nobody is watching? Are you going to try just as hard in school even if the tutor's not in the room? Are you going to push yourself at basketball practice even if the coach turns around to go talk to the assistant? Because if the answer is no, okay. So you'll be able to grow. You'll just need somebody else to listen to the tree for you. No problem. But what happens when they're not there? You'll wait. You'll wait and you'll wait, and soon it may get to the point where it's just too late. Let's control our own lives. Let's be the people that are around always, that can objectively say, this is what I did, I liked. This is what I did, I didn't like. Let's listen for that sound in the tree because it's falling all the time. The question is, will you listen for it? Thank you. Okay, so